Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Today, I will like to talk to you about keeping good friends and being good friend to your friend. Inshallah, let's begin. Auzu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So today's topic is about how to keep good friends and be a good friend to your friends. So as you can see, boys and girls, friends influence each other in the matter of behavior, our thoughts, and our beliefs. And when we interact with our friends, we learn from their behavior. We learn if they do good deeds. We learn by watching them, and we learn bad deeds also at the same time. If they are doing any bad deeds, we will get influenced by their bad deeds. So we start learning from our friends. So it is very important that we are keeping good friendships and be a good friend to another friend, to your friends. So how did you think of your situation? How did you get influenced by your friend? It could be a good influence, or it could be a bad influence. So think about a situation that when you got influenced by the thoughts of your friends or by the actions of your friend, was that a good influence on you? Was that a good thing that you learned from that friend? Or was that a bad thing that you learned from that friend, and maybe you could have gotten into trouble? So as you can see, we learn good and bad deeds from the friends that we keep. So it is very important that we should also be a good friend to your friend, and also your friend has to be a good influence, a good friend to you. And Prophet Muhammad has said that everyone's behavior is influenced by the actions and beliefs of his or her friend. So, since we spend a lot of our time with our friends, we play with them, we work with them, we study with them. So, it is important that when you are with the friends, you adopt their good qualities, and at the same time, if they are behaving negatively, or if they are giving you an influence, or if they are influencing you to act in a certain way, that you stay away and you inform somebody, you report the matter to your teacher, to your parent. And that is why Prophet Muhammad has said that everyone's behavior is influenced by the actions and beliefs of his or her friends. And that's why your parents are making sure, spending so much money to send you to a good school, so that you will have good friends who have akhlaq and who have the same manners as yourself, have the best Muslim manners. So that is why Prophet Muhammad has said that everyone's behavior is influenced by the actions and beliefs of his or her friends. And if you look at these two pictures, there are one on the left and one on the right. What do you see the difference? What is the difference? Look at the hadith of Prophet Muhammad, who said, having good company is better than being alone, but being alone is better than having bad company. So if your friends are having a bad influence on you, then it is better to be alone. Look at these two pictures. Which one do you see is an example of good friendship? If you look in the left, what do you see? Do you see the girls on the left being a good influence on each other? And look at the picture on the right. What do you see? What's the difference? Do you see which one of these two pictures show an example of good friendship? Which girl is having a bad influence? Look at these two pictures, and you can see that one of the friend is trying to light a match, and that is not a good influence on others. And you can see the girl on the right is advising the girl in the middle to be careful. So you can see, boys and girls, this is the effect of having good company and the effect of having bad company. Now think about it. If the girl in the middle uh, gets influenced by the girl who is trying to light up the match, what would happen? And what would happen if the girl in the middle does not act upon the advice and stays away from um, from keeping company with a with a friend who is having a bad influence on her. So what advice would she give to that friends? Will she say, this is not a good act, or will she follow that girl and get involved in that action? So it is very important to keep good company, and if you're it is better to sit alone than in the company of bad people who have a bad influence on us. Going to the next page. People may look at you and decide what kind of person you are by the way you are dressed, but their lasting feeling about you will be based on what you say. So what are some ways that we can be a good friend? So when you think, so we have to always think before we speak, because if we are speaking something that is not proper, then we are influencing others in our with our speech. So it is very important that we speak correctly. So these are some ways of being a good friend as well ourselves. And you should never begin a conversation without first saying salam to the person you are speaking. So what are some other good ways of being a good friend? So good akhlaq is when speaking, always speak what is useful, what is truthful, and what is not harmful to anyone. Never say hurtful things or backbite about anyone. Do not even listen to others doing so. Never hurt anyone's feeling, even jokingly, and never use bad language. So our character is shaped by who we are. So what we say becomes our character. And then what we say becomes our character, and then the way we start acting becomes our habit. And then that habit could become worse and worse. So it is very important to make sure we do not have any of those bad habits like uh, speaking what is not right or hurting other people. And if you're not sure whether you should say something or not, then it is better to keep quiet. You see that zip on the lip? So it is better to keep quiet than to hurt anybody. And boys and girls, once you say something to your friend and then that friend starts to get hurt, then it is very hard to it's very hard to make your friend feel good about it, because once you have said something, it's really hurtful, so it hurts other people. So you have to make sure that undoing what you have done is much harder than to just stay quiet and not say something that could hurt other people. Imagine if somebody said bad words to you, wouldn't you feel bad? Wouldn't you feel upset? So what we feel upset, we should act the same way. So if we feel upset when bad things are said to us, then the same way we have to respect other people in the same way. So here is a activity that you can think inside this page. Maybe you can draw it on your paper and write in the brain all the things you should think of before you open your mouth to speak. So think about it. Is that needed? Is it better for me to say it, or am I being rude when I am saying this? Especially when you get angry or upset, it's better not to talk when you're angry. When you're angry, just keep quiet and think about it and say, maybe I can wait and see later on, maybe I can talk to this person. Or when you are upset, especially when you're upset when you're at home with your mom or when you're with your dad, never speak when they are upset at you, because you have to be quiet, and maybe you can talk to your mom or dad later on. But when you are upset, try not to speak, because when we are upset, we are not using our rationality. We're not using our brain in the right way. We might say things that we will regret later. So think about it before we speak, when, especially when we are angry. And here in the Holy Quran, Allah said, and speak kindly to people. وَقَالُوا in لِلنَّاسِ husna. وَقَالُوا لِلنَّاسِ husna. So it says, and speak kindly to people. In Surah Baqarah, verse number 83, Allah has also said that when you speak, speak kindly. Because when you speak kindly, people will always remember you. No matter what, they will always think of you in a kind and nice manner. But if you are rude, no, people will not have respect for us if we do not speak kindly. And here's a story, boys and girls, I want to share with you. Two travelers were on the road together. Suddenly, a robber appeared. One man ran for the tree and climbed up and hid in the branches. The other was not as fast, so he threw himself onto the ground, pretending to be dead. The robber came to the man on the floor, whispered something in his ear, and went away. When the robber had gone, the man in the tree climbed down and asked his friend, "What did the robber whisper in your ear?" His friend replied that the robber had told him to find a better friend who would not leave him at the first sign of danger. So look at that. When the robber came, there were two friends walking. As soon as the robber came, one of the friend ran up and climbed the tree. So what what would you have done if you are walking with your friend and in this situation happened? What would you have done? What do you think the man who ran for the tree should have done? So being his friend, do you think that he should have also taken his friend and say, let's go and hide, the robber is coming? And or did you think what he did was right? So this is the thing, is when you have a friend will never leave your other friend in danger. So especially when you see something happening to your friend, you should always report to your elder, to your teacher. And reporting is not backbiting, because you are saving your friend from danger. So a friend in need is a friend indeed. So this story tells you that your friends should always help you, and you should always help other friends, and not leave your other friends strangling like this traveler who did. So boys and girls, these are some ways of being a good friend to your friend, and you also trying to be a good friend to well, you also try to be a good friend to your friend, and you be a good friend to your friend. And now think about all the things we have learned today. What are some things you will do to be a good friend to others? Will you speak in a nice way? Would you give good advice? Will you always protect your friend? Would you always say the right thing? Would you always make sure you are not backbiting? Would you always make sure that you are speaking truthfully? Will you make sure that when you speak, you will think before you speak? And will you always make sure to keep good company, and better to be alone than to be in the company of bad people? So these are some of the things, and I'm sure you will think of other things, and think about all the times that your friends have been a bad influence, and think of the time when your friend has been a good influence. And inshallah, this will help you to uh, to make good friends and be good friends to others as well. Inshallah, we will come back with another lesson. Until then, fi amanillah.